Hey there guys, this is Reckles with WTBGold, and today we are testing out tools of the trade tailoring because, I should have done this video back when Tools of the Trade was first released, but I didn't, so we're doing it now. But I'm actually in a really unique position to test this. So, right here, we have my 2x4 farming team set up for the Brutosaur Month giveaway, happening in 2020. This is Snow White. It's as close as I can get her transmog, but she has tailoring, but doesn't have Tools of the Trade yet. Here is I'm helping Yay, part of my gathering team, so she doesn't have tailoring at all. And then here are the boys, the 5 of the 7 dwarves, and these guys have tailoring and have Tools of the Trade. So we can go out to a mount farm and test out, give you guys some accurate results, because it's really hard to compare one person's numbers of 1 hour of farming versus another. Here, everyone will be looting the exact same amount of bodies, some with Tools of the Trade, some without, and some without tailoring, so we can get accurate data. So that is what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be spending 3 hours out at one of my favorite farms, and we'll see how much cloth you get with each of those. Here we are at the farm. Of course, I'm multi-boxing this, but it's just a group farm. You can do this with one account. Just look in the group finder. There's almost always a mount farm going on. But this is my favorite little spot because it's super chill. There's hardly ever competition for it. It's right here under the bridge. There's another alternative spot. You can go right here if there's already a group at this spot. But some of the better farms out there, when the Azurite World Quest is up here, you can go there. This is one of the original farms, but they changed it. You have to hit a couple different spots at the same time, so it's more of like a 20-person farm for this one. The OG farm right here works as long as you have someone in the cave. And then there's this spot right here that's super spread out. And this is apparently the best spot to farm the Dune Scavenger at. But I can't figure out how to make it work. So even though the faithless citizens don't drop the mount, the faithless dealers, faithless stalkers, and there's one other faithless watcher, those guys do. So it's super chill. And you have a chance to get the mount every hour or so. All right, we are done with round 1 of this, and it is time to vendor. Interesting things I'm noticing just right off the bat here. On our tune that doesn't have Looterang, I got like 40, what is this, about 50, let's say about 50 just gray items and 2 rows of greens. Here we got fewer greens, but like I guess that's also about 50 grays. It seems like more. It seems like everyone else got a lot more grays, but they also just already had a couple items in their bags. But it's just like this is a lot more. Anyway, let's see how much we got round 1. About 2,000 to 2,500 just raw gold in cash from this spot in the first hour. We'll have to test a little bit more thoroughly to get an accurate read on the amount of cloth you get. So we are just about finished with hour number 2, and once again, there's 1 or 2 characters that have their bags full. But now some of the others don't have their bags quite as full, but it is like it feels noticeable. We'll check out the final gold tallies. But just real quick before I forget, how do you actually get Tools of the Trade tailoring? Well, once you hit level 150 in tailoring, there's going to be a lady that shows up right next to your tailoring trainer. They're both about 10 feet away, so just look at your mini-map and see where you have a quest available. But this lady sends you all over the place. You gotta go find some. It's a short little quest chain, takes about 10 minutes to do. but you got to go around and find a whole bunch of portals and click on them, and then you go through one of the portals, and then you got to kill her doppelganger, and it's a really cool, interesting, timey-wimey story. But after you finish that little quest chain, you have to go do a Tal Dazar, King's Rest, Siege of Borealis, and Temple of Sethralis. And once you do those 4 dungeons, you'll get an item from each dungeon, and you'll be able to craft. Hold on, we can go ahead and head out. Get out of combat over here. So she allows you to make this thing right here, Synchronous Thread, which you make with an item from each of those 4 dungeons, 10 expulsum, so you'll have to make about 70 Tidespray linen bracers. This is the best way to get expulsum. And then just some Tidespray linen and nylon thread. So it's really like, it's a little bit of gold and a bunch of cloth. So 70 bracers, so 700 Tidespray linen, about 800 Tidespray linen, and you'll have this, and then you'll be able to get more cloth, hopefully. You also can get out in the world. There are little things that you can click on, these little portals that in the quest chain she has you go close. Well, if you go out and click on those portals, you get the old thread from previous expansions, so like Mooncloth and Imbued Frostweave, and just all these really annoying things to farm. There's also a vendor that can pop up that gives you a whole bunch of unobtainable recipes, but for those you buy it with embroidered deep sea satin, and it takes about 850 embroidered deep sea satin in order to get all of the recipes that you can get. So like that helps you make a whole bunch of gold, because a lot of people may not know that these are no longer technically unobtainable. So definitely do those, and just farming the old world cloth is about 40k per hour. If you do the lap in Nazjatar, which to my knowledge is the best lap for farming them up. But let's go finish up hour 3 here, and then we'll get you guys a total tally. We got a thing. Okay, so I have a weak aura that you can see up here, that as long as I'm in combat, if I have a Dune Scavenger in my bags, it'll show up. Where are you? Dune. There you are. All right, so we got a mount. Cool. I was getting kind of worried because we hadn't seen the mount yet. So if you're ever doing this farm and you get a mount, or any of the mount farms, one really important thing to note is that, you know, they're really rare. All of the BFA mounts are unique, so you can only have one in your bags at a time. So if you mail it to an alt, or you put it in, let's say you have a personal guild bank here, you can put it in there and then go back to your farm. Okay, so we're going a little bit over time because I wanted to hit 5,000 kills, but we just got it. So I'm honestly really blown away by the results. I knew Tools of the Trade made a difference. I wasn't quite ready for how much of a difference it made. So I'm excited to share my my tentative and more in-depth results with you guys. Let's go to it. Hey, look, you can see my face now. Okay, so I'm so excited about this because we got some crazy results. Just look at 14 deep sea satin without a tailor, 402 with Tools of the Trade. Massive increase, massive increase. But let's get talking not just about the raw data, but how you can actually use this. So this first column here, gold, this is just kind of my check to make sure that everyone was looting about the same amount of enemies, and my initial worries about not getting as many loots with my non-tailor, that kind of averaged itself out. But with 5,000 kills, this means we can also figure out that you'll expect about 1.2 gold for every kill when you vendor all the greens and vendor all the grays and get the raw gold in. About 1.2 gold per kill, which is nice. That's good to know. For the deep sea satin, though, this is ridiculous. So deep sea satin without tailoring, we got 14. That's 1 every 350 kills. Compare this to 70 with tailoring, which is 400% more. 4 times more, and then with tools of the trade, it's another 4 times more from that. So you're looking 1 every 13 kills compared to 1 every 360. That's just such a massive jump. 7.5%, 1.5%, and 1/3 or 0.3. But then over with Tidespray linen, we've got 1 every 8.6 kills, 1 every 3.3 kills, and 1 every 2 kills. So 12.5%, 30%, 50%. That's probably what the numbers were in the drop table, because those are all nice, friendly, pretty numbers. BOEs and mounts, we didn't notice anything special there. We only got 1 mount over the course of our 3 hours. And before I go on to the next thing, one cool thing that you can do here, you now know that if you need 500, like now that you know this number right here and this number right here, you can figure out like, okay, I need 1,000 Tidespray linen in order to restock my Expulsum. How much Tidespray, how many enemies do I need to go kill? Well, 1,000 times 2 is 2,000 enemies. If you need 500 deep sea satin for whatever, then 500 times 13, you need 6,500 deep sea satin. So these right here, 1 every 13 kills and 1 every 2 kills, those are the important things to learn from this test. Then I had a little fun with expected value, and this is where I'm going to close out on this video, because like all the numbers that I got are fine, but like let's say this is your gold making venture that you want to go out, and this is how you want to make gold. You just want to camp out at the Bloodgate all day, every day. How much gold can you feasibly make? Well, in my farm, I labeled these with like bronze, silver, and gold. In my farm, I averaged 28 kills a minute. That got us 2,200 raw gold an hour, 127 deep sea satin, and 860 Tidespray for 6,200 gold per hour. Which, you know, that's about the same as you get from like mining and herbalism right now. Mining and herb is a little slow right now, a little low. So it's interesting to know that 1 hour spent farming is the same as 1 hour spent farming. But what if you improve? If you get pretty good gear, you get a little bit better at your positioning and your stacking and just killing, you could feasibly get up to about 60 kills per minute. At that point, you'd be getting about twice as much gold per hour. And then the most I have heard of, there was one time where I got like 92 kills in a minute. If you could feasibly potentially get 100 kills per minute at a current content farm, and to put this into perspective, the Crimson Whelpling farm is about 120 kills a minute. So essentially, you're one-shotting with this stuff. Like, you know, just one person in each group is moonfiring the same enemy, and each moonfire is taking out more than half their health, but not completely one-shotting them. Like, that's what you're doing, just over and over, rapid fire killing. With that, the most gold you could feasibly make just from Raw gold, deep sea satin, and Tidespray linen is about 20,000 gold per hour per tune. So that's the range. This is kind of a bad low gear setup, 6,000 gold per hour up to 20,000 gold per hour, and you just make it happen. So that is it. We've got a Tidespray linen, or not a trade skill master guide coming out soon. Subscribe, like the video if these numbers were helpful. I haven't seen these posted anywhere, and the numbers I have heard have varied dramatically. So I hope this was useful. Have a great day, guys. Good luck and happy gold making.